Welcome. I'm so excited to chat with you today. We are getting so close to the conference happening.
Yeah.
It's just a little over a week, I guess. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And I wanted to take this opportunity to let people know about your part in the conference because you will be running the yoga and the meditation. So maybe would you be open to just sharing a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, for sure. First, I'd really like to thank you, Lori, for inviting me here and being a part of all of this. It's going to be really amazing. I'm excited to be a part of this for sure. So what brought me here? That's a loaded question. So I teach yoga and meditation, and I've taken my training through Shivananda Yoga, which I took in Montreal, and then I took a second training through my yoga teacher who I met through the place that I practice. His name is Swami Mahesh, and he is a traveling yogi from India. And I traveled to India after a few other places with him to learn from him.
So it's, you kind of stepped over this unique experience that you had being trained in India.
Mm-hmm.
Because, there's a lot of yoga teachers, but I think you're coming to the table with something that really sets you apart. And I was just, I'd really invite you to maybe share a little bit about that.
Okay. So I first got intrigued by going to India for my own personal health benefits. I had met Swami, a traveling yogi that was teaching yoga around the world. And I traveled to Iceland and Costa Rica with him on wellness retreats. And then I was invited to India to spend some time at an Ayurveda hospital to get some treatments, just mostly for my own benefits, my own self-care, my own health. And I knew through the process of my recovery from a nervous breakdown that I had had that I wanted to share yoga with others. That was the big thing that helped move me through my recovery. And so when I was in yoga or in India, I had asked him, where do you think that I should take my next, where should I take my training? And he recommended Shivananda Yoga because it was traditional classical yoga connected to that we learn in India, but also what I've been practicing since 2011, and also what I was learning through him. So I took that training in Montreal. There's a lot of different places that you could take that training, India being one of them. And as much as I wanted to go back there, I really wanted to learn how to cook vegetarian with Canadian food because I had been to India, loved the food, but didn't feel like I could get that type of food here. So I took the training there, and then I was an Indian chef, and I learned a little bit more how to cook Indian meals. But now I'm we're at, to buy the food here.
So you went to training where you actually lived there and train, like
Yeah.
you're talking about eating. So what do you tell me more about that?
Yeah, so I was trained in the ancient Gurukula system where you live with the master or you live with the teacher while you're being trained. So it was a 1 month program where you go in and you learn everything to do with yoga within that time period. So we were living and breathing yoga from about 5 in the morning until about 10 at night every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I know that you were trained, specifically in this type of yoga, but you have integrated it in the local community. Can you
Mm-hmm.
tell us about, how you share what you know locally?
Yeah, so I'm teaching adult classes. Um, having to do with Ayurveda, having to do with yoga, having to do with more specific meditation techniques like Yoga Nidra or mantra chanting. And then I teach seniors every day, and I love, that's probably the biggest passion of mine is working with seniors. I graduated nursing, and that was one of my dreams, was to work with seniors. And then when I graduated, there was no jobs at that time, and then I moved into the insurance industry that I ended up sticking with for 20 years. So, and now I'm like, have done a full circle right back to working with seniors and the best part of them. So I go in, they're excited to be there, and we work through some things, and they've got great feedback and are really helping with their own struggles in life, knowing that it's coming to an end, or knowing that there's so much more to life than just sitting and, and worrying. There's so many people that have so many worries about what's going to happen, or regrets about what's happened in the past. So, yeah.
So I'm curious, do you do chanting with the seniors as well?
Yeah, they love it.
So we're doing chanting, right, on the Saturday night.
Yes,
For anyone that's interested.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about what that is, or maybe can you just give us a little taste? Because you know what, this is the one thing. I went to one of your chanting classes, and you're so good at it. I always kind of struggled with the whole chanting thing, and I was just mesmerized by how comfortable, and you just kind of like embody it. So so tell everybody about what we're going to do on Saturday.
Yeah, so on Saturday night, we're going to chant the Mahamrityunjaya mantra 108 times. So this is a 4-verse mantra for peace and harmony. It's also for health and healing, and helping to overcome any fears or obstacles you're having in your life. So yeah, super exciting to have a big group to share with. So yeah, I can do the chant for you if you'd like.
Yeah,
so you can
give us maybe a one-time through.
All right, sounds good. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhyam Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhana Mrityor Mukshiyamamrita.
So cool. So the idea is you do that 108 times, and so what? I heard what it's going to help, but what does someone experience when they do a chant? I know it's different for everybody, but what is it like for you to use chanting in your practice?
Yeah, so for me, it's like a one-pointed awareness where you're just focused on that one thing the whole time. You feel the vibration in the body, you're bringing in your senses, but you're also withdrawing the senses to keep one focused, to keep your mind focused on one thing. And so when we can bring our mind focused into one place, then there's nothing else happening. There's nothing else going on. And then when we finish the chant, it's like this buzz in the body that just feels amazing. And there's no thoughts, there's no feeling, and then you realize you've been sitting there for that long and go, oh my gosh, I usually can't sit for 5 minutes before my legs get tired or fall asleep. It's just the most impactful practice of yoga that's my favorite part.
So what if somebody is thinking, there's no way that I could remember all that and sing it?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So I give you a sheet and we walk through it. We walk through it together. You'll know it, and then you'll practice it 108 times. So by the end of it, you'll have a pretty good handle on it.
Awesome.
And then you'll find that maybe it's coming up in your life through different practices that you're doing. So maybe like when you're washing the dishes, this Om Trayambakam Yajamahe is going through your mind. And sometimes you can use it for to help move through things as well. Yeah.
Now we're doing that on Saturday. We're going to have a bonfire. I really hope that the weather cooperates, because I think it would be amazing.
Yeah.
So when you're doing yoga, how is that going to relate, do you think, to somebody unleashing their greatness? Like where's the connection with the yoga? And
so
what one can expect?
One of the main things through this practice, that you're teaching is awareness. And that's the main thing that I feel like I've learned through yoga, is to become aware of what's going on in my body, connecting that with the mind, noticing the thoughts moving through the mind at the time, and starting to feel things bubbling up through the practice. And so then when you can recognize and bring what you're feeling into awareness, then you can start making changes.
So if someone has never done yoga before, are they going to feel comfortable at the conference doing it with you?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I teach in a way that all levels are able to have the experience. So as a high level practitioner, you may be like, oh, seems really not too big of a deal. We're moving our hands, but what you may be realizing at that time is what you're thinking. So maybe you're focusing more on the thoughts, whereas people just starting, maybe they're just going, oh, wow, I've never paid so much attention to my fingers before, or I've never paid so much attention to my toes before.
So what I'm hearing is that it doesn't matter what kind of background you have in yoga. It's not about the yoga poses. It's about awareness, because that is the focus for the conference. Is that what I heard you say?
Absolutely. It's about listening to your own body, honoring what it's telling you, and then responding accordingly. So if I'm feeling like this is too much for me, then I stop. I sit or relax or stand or whatever it is that feels comfortable for you at that moment, and be okay with that. And that's one of the things in yoga that sometimes isn't taught in other practices is to really honor what your body's telling you and listen and follow through with what's telling. So if it's hurting, stop. It's not about pushing through the pain. It's not about getting to the next level. Like for me, that's not what it is. It's about being aware. Oh, I feel like there's some pain coming up. Can I move through this? Can I breathe through this? And if I can't, then I back off, or I don't move any further, or I sit where I am. And knowing that every day is different. So from one day to the next, one day I can touch my toes and the next day I can't. And that's okay, because there's different things affecting that.
Wow. I am extremely grateful to have you with us today. And I can't wait to connect next week and get this party started.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
So thanks, Julie. And again, if anyone's interested in joining us at the Unleash Your Greatness conference, ticket sales end April 30th. They are only $270 for Friday night, where we'll have our keynote, Gina Hatzis.
So excited for her.
Yes, she's amazing. And then Saturday, you're going to start your day with Julie, and we're going to move through a bunch of exercises, workshops, some really fun activities to just dive into the idea of awareness, and so that we can start living from our natural state of greatness that we are. So if you're looking for tickets, be sure to go to the website, www.loribrant.com, and look for the Unleash Your Greatness tab. And again, April 30th, people, got to get them by then. No more tickets after that. So thanks again, Julie, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.